Another luxury, and it's a third source of truffle, which is kind of good and bad. It's good in the sense that I can't trade it with the AI because I've already traded a source of truffle with them already, so all of my cities will actually get some happiness out of it. And it's bad in the sense that I can't trade it, so I won't get any gold out of it, but never mind, it's all good. Yeah, Congo is very, very aggressively settling towards me, but again, not necessarily a problem. It just means that I'll have to push through them if I ever want to expand out. Please, I am no stranger to war. I am literally merely passing by, so yeah, that's a bit premature. Can't say that'll always be the case, but for now it certainly is. I can build another slinger, but I'm actually going to transfer now to building a couple of warriors. I like a bit of a range of armed units, and if I'm ever going to do some swordsmen, or maybe even a man-at-arms rush, it's definitely worth having a bit of a variety of units. Keep an eye out for weird yields on the map. That's why it's always worth keeping yields on as much as you think you recognize, and you can remember what all the yields of all the resources are. Good for you. You miss out on things like this. Other way of spotting that sometimes is to look at the appeal tile. Just inexplicably high appeal areas of the map, you'll find things like this. I also knew there was another wonder somewhere because I saw, from diplomatic visibility, rumours that somebody had found something. Always go Alpine, by the way, on scouts on the first promotion. It's always good to stick to the hills because you can see more. Look at that. Barbarian raid near Moreau. That is useful for me. I need one more barbarian kill, otherwise I can't get bronze working. And I don't want to be working that manually. So I'm just going to go for archery there. It's a shame that Ngazagami came and stole a scout kill from a barbarian to myself, which was really annoying because I was looking to get that for the bronze working boost, but alas, not to be. Congo has actually declared war on Ngazagamu. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, I'm just going to leave a few units in that vague area because I'm curious as to how that happens. Who ends up winning out of that fight? I want Ngazagamu on side, to be fair. There's a tribal village, another bit of era score, and an envoy. Nice. Just going to pop Preslav, one envoy there so that I get another production towards warriors in my capital. Just specializing my capital into a unit production machine. Second source of horse. That's La Rochelle's production increased quite considerably now. There's another 2 sources of horse that I can improve to my south actually, which would be pretty impressive. I think I'll sit on my gold for a little bit though. An archer rush. Probably not a bad move here because I could, in theory, go to war with the Congo fairly early on. Keep an eye on great generals as well. Great people generally. You can see what the AI is specializing in a game. Lots of people going for profits. One person's gone for a writer. Interesting. Very interesting. Not necessarily what you'd see on an average game, but interesting nonetheless. Pantheon time. Now, you're looking for a combination of things that will help you in the war going forward, but will also give you a bit of snowballing early game. One thing I've got a lot of is 1, 2, 3 camps. So Goddess of the Hunt, that would give me 1 food and 1 production to all of those tile improvements. That's huge. I could also go God of Craftsman to give all my improved strategic resources 1 production and 1 faith. I think I'm going to stick the camps. There are a reasonable amount of them on the map, and it just improves my capital and my second city considerably. Other options, of course, you can see there is a lot of stuff to do with tundra and rainforest. If you're going holy sites, I'd always go River Goddess. Divine Spark is often quite good, as is Lady of the Reeds and Marshes if you've got desert, floodplain, or marsh or oasis. I have none of that sort of stuff. Fertility rights I quite like as well. 3 builder in the capital's good. The city growth rate of 10% higher in all cities. That gets really good late game. Not necessarily early game, but late game that's really good. I'm going to go Goddess of the Hunt though. Just look at these tiles. 225. That immediately goes to 335. Very good improvement on a tile. Good thing about Ngazagamu and Congo fighting here is that there's going to be a lot of wasted combat strength as they fight it out. I'm actually going to bring some of my slingers back home to upgrade them. Although I could try and get a settler out and then send it down here to settle closer. I don't think that's worth it. Actually saying that, oh, Ngazagamu just took a big hit. Blimey. Yeah, I was thinking about making friends with this city-state, but I don't think it's going to be around for too much longer. I'm moving my units in to create a bit of a blockade. I don't want Ngazagamu falling. It'll be a very good ally for me later into the game, but I don't think I'm going to get much choice on the matter, to be fair. Go on, attack me. Go! They didn't attack me. Come on. I want you to be destroyed in battle. That scout is mine. Ngazagamu may survive this, but it's going to be fairly close. And I actually have an opportunity here to get involved in the war just to be incredibly annoying. I want to keep the city-state alive, and this sort of big nebulous fight in the middle here, I could get a lot of advantage from. I'm currently getting 9 gold per turn from the Congo, which is a very decent amount. But there's an opportunity to get some unit kills here and an opportunity to stop Ngazagamu from falling. So I'm going to do that. What we're going to do is I'm going to declare the surprise war against Congo. This is in order to protect Ngazagamu. I have a slinger that can get the kill on the warrior. That gives me the archery upgrade. That in itself is going to be very handy. Now, unfortunately, Ngazagamu are still not letting me in their borders, which is a little frustrating. But this hopefully is going to make the Congo panic just a little bit. I'm going to go for horseback riding now. Let's get some cavalry up. Although masonry is also quite an important one. Oh, these campuses. I need those campuses to get finished as soon as they can. I'm doing my best to try and track this scout down as well. There we go. Right, I can kill that. I need your open borders. What would it take? 19 gold? Tell you what, friend, that is well worth it, because now I can get the scout on scout kill. Oh, that didn't give me the boost. I thought I'd already got 2 kills on barbarians. I hadn't. That was only the second. Alas, what are you going to do? I've maxed out on horses, by the way, so I'm going to sell some to Nubia just for a bit more gold. Having it in the coffers, always very handy. One thing people always forget about is that you can always look at the score victory tab to see whether or not an AI is going to go into a golden age. Congo has 29 era score, which means they're going golden. So even if I take this city, loyalty may prove to be a bit of an issue in holding it. But look at that, and Ngazagamu has just about held themselves. For how long they can hold themselves, I don't know, but it's long enough for now. Luckily though, Nubia will join in on the war. Whenever you find yourself at war, always off to see if people want to join in on the joint war. Nubia can see a very soft, undefended underbelly from Congo here. They love the idea of joining me in on this war, so they have. That'll hopefully pull some of the defense to the north and away from me. We'll see how that works. Now, intelligence is a very important thing for me right now. Intel on opponent's movements. I'm getting a +3 combat bonus. That is enough to negate the worst of the deity bonus of +4. It's really interesting though to talk about access level, because some of the things like establishing a trade route, sending a delegation, you've got to remember as soon as war is declared, any trade routes are cancelled, any delegation is recalled, any embassy is broken. So that access level does not stick around as soon as you declare war. So the +3 we're getting at the moment is kind of the only thing that we're really going to be able to hold on to. Oh, and Ngazagamu is still being attacked, unfortunately. It looks like the Congo are just throwing units in, and that is a major drought between my 2 cities. Oh, that is unfortunate. That has just broken that tile improvement immediately. That's not good. Okay, luckily I've got an alternative one to work, but ouch. That is very, very difficult. Whenever you have large areas of flat land, if the game can form an unbroken segment of 7 tiles in a hexagon shape, and there is no water or forest, droughts can form, and that's very painful. I'm going to still generate some units here. Let's get some archers, send them down to the south. I could get wonders, but it's not worth it right now. Right now, the best thing I can do is surround the city here. Look at that. We're actually doing it quite nicely. Start to do some damage to the city. The city is sieged. If we can steal this while the AI is distracted, it doesn't know who to attack. There's too many targets right now. This is where we take full advantage. Also now switching to foreign trade. I'm going to get the specialty district boost when this campus is finished. I don't need to rush it. Nubia, by the way, they want to be my friend. I'm tempted to allow that. And Ngazagamu is probably going to fall, annoyingly, but it's fine. It's fine. I can still do some decent damage to it, I think. So we'll keep using our units to sort of push forward a little bit. Zone of control is something to consider on cities. Now, keeping the city sieged is very important for me. If it's sieged, it can't heal. All 6 tiles around must be threatened by zone of control. Archer units only threaten the tile they're stood on. Melee units threaten every tile around, and no unit can threaten across a river. So right now, this warrior and this slinger are protecting the tiles they're stood on. This warrior is protecting 1, 2, 3, and this one is going 1, 2. So all 6 tiles are surrounded. That means we can do some unopposed and unhealable damage to this city. Hopefully take it before the walls get put up. If walls do get put up, that'll be a little bit annoying. There's not much we can do. Just wait. Normally it's the turn I'm going to take a city. That's when the walls appear. But no, actually, we got a little bit lucky. Oh, we got unlucky in the sense that that river just flooded and I just took a huge amount of damage of my warrior. That's not great, but I can take the city. Loyalty is going to be a problem, but we can always give the city back in a peace deal, don't forget. Sell it for gold. I'm going to keep it for now. Try and hold on to it. Minus 22 loyalty per turn. Oh, that is painful. The main thing, though, is now I have some actual friendly territory that I can move my units back to, that I can upgrade archers into, or slingers into archers. That is a powerful upgrade. And we're just going to keep attacking through this city as much as we can. Taking a brief diversion into battering ram so that I can build a battering ram to deal with the capital. I'm probably not going to be able to hold on to the city. That is worth saying. But as I say, we might be able to make peace, might be able to do this. As long as we keep Gazagimu alive, this will be, will have been worth it. Knowledge of machinery is boosted because I have another archer, which is wonderful. And actually that's just in time because Congo are trying to sneak a scout around the other direction. Not going to happen. Normal age. Everyone else is in a golden age. Alas, that means loyalty in this city is going to get even worse. But never mind. Just quickly declare a friendship with Nubia, just so that I've got a permanent ally. Doesn't mean I can't betray them later, but it's good to have an ally in a war against the AI. Now, what do I want to do? Free inquiry means that I get an era score every time I trigger a Eureka, or I build a library or any other building that has science as a base yield. Very helpful. Building a district is useful. If I've got a religion, Exodus of the Evangelists is a very useful one. Or if I'm going to build lots of amphitheaters or get Eurekas. Free inquiry is a good base one. If you're not sure what to go for as a dark or normal age dedication, that's always worth doing it. So if I were to, for instance, found a city on the coast, farm a resource, build a quarry, that would all give me 1 era score. Just finish off getting all of these little promotions to my units. I say little promotions, nothing little about them. They're very powerful. Archers are considerably more powerful than anything else. And Gazagimu is still being attacked. That's not ideal. The city-state may still be lost. I'm going to lose this city to loyalty now. And then Gazagimu actually just flipped, which is really, really annoying. And there's a drought that's just taken out again. Another set of improvements. That is frustrating. Oh, luckily I've got a builder to go and fix them all, but that is very annoying. But within Gazagimu flipping, I now have an opportunity to go and liberate it, which will give me 100 diplomatic favor and will permanently lock it into being an ally for me. So that's not a bad thing. First of all, however, I just need to get rid of some of these units so that they don't kill all of my troops. So this is fine. We can just go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just let myself heal for another turn or 2. By that I mean attack the city, grind out some levels. First governor, I would always go for Amani. Amani's going to do a little tour. She's going to move herself around the map, stealing city-states. And the first place I'm going to send her for a bit of visibility and also for a bit of an ally is Preslav. Preslav will be able to hopefully send some troops in the direction. But as soon as Amani is settled in the city, she gives 2 extra envoys in that city, and it's all brilliant. Oh, and the campus is finished. Excellent. Okay, that's really, really good. That building is worth 3 science per turn, that district I should say, but I can now buy in a library immediately, get another 2 science per turn. If I can keep a Bologna or Taruga on side, then that will help as well. City is taken back. Doesn't really want to stay to me. I'm tempted to raise it, and I think that's probably what I'll end up doing, yeah, just so that it doesn't flip again. Don't like raising cities if we can get away with it, but sometimes it's just the only thing to do. Oh yes, here we go. The levied warriors of Bologna are on the way. Luckily, I've got some defense in Paris. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. And encampment. I can now build an encampment. I need a little bit more gold in order to do that. I'm just going to trade 1 gold per turn for 14 gold up front, just so I can build it immediately. But it's important I start generating general points fast. And I want my units to be built in this sort of direction, so I will get this encampment sorted like so. Lovely. You can see I also have some iron in this city, which is lovely. I do want some iron. There's some in my capital as well. You can see Congo is willing to give me 9 gold per turn for peace right now. They're not best pleased with how this war is going, and that is understandable. But I'm going to liberate the city-state before we do that. It's not a problem for me right now. Bologna betraying me, though, is a bit more of an issue. There are warriors to my north proving a little bit problematic, but don't worry. We should be able to bring this back under my control fairly quickly. Just depends if they attack the city directly. Yeah, they're just going to go straight to the city. They're going to give me a relic. No, I reckon I can extort more from you than that. Oh, look at that. yeah, in the other direction, I'm just keeping my scout here just to keep an eye. Nubia and Taruga are demolishing Congo from the other direction. Look at that. We might be able to remove Congo from the game entirely here. This was all sparked, by the way, by them attacking the city-state. Definitely worth keeping that in mind. Keep your units promoted. Masonry means that I've now got myself possibility of getting a battering ram, which is lovely. Let's get this horseback riding sorted, though. I'd love some horsemen. Campus is finished. Another bunch of science. Yeah, this is lovely. This is lovely. A couple of warriors being produced just to give myself more army, but this is a nice start. Congo has just made itself getting more general points. They've got an encampment somewhere. Useful to know. Means that there's an encampment for me to steal, is the other way of looking at that. Preslav bows to me, and I get some era score from that, which is lovely. I'm immediately going to send Amani on the next stop of the tour to Kabul. I'll lose Preslav, but I'll get some more era score from Kabul when I take that over, so it's all good. Time to get the government plaza sorted. La Rochelle is going to be the one to do it. So there are walls appearing in the Congo, but and whilst this is very strong, and I don't think my units are going to be able to take it on, I'm going to just liberate Ngazagamu first. This is kind of the whole point of this war. 1, 2, 3, 4 attacks from the archers either side of the city, and then my warriors will finish this off and take the city. No way I'm going to be able to hold on to it, but it's fine. I'm liberating the city-state back into the game, earning myself 100 diplomatic favor, gaining some era score because I've just gained 3 envoys there that I get to keep, which is lovely. Now I can make peace with Congo, and I will take all of your gold. 6 gold per turn, 100 up front. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't offer me their cities. It's always worth double checking. No, I'm not going to do it, but peace in our time. This means I have a little bit more time now just to level my units up, get some horsemen, get some siege equipment, unlock, more importantly, swordsmen and man-at-arms. There's a lot of stuff that needs to happen right now. Also stops Bologna from attacking me to the north, which is quite handy as well. Urban planning, Agogi, both of these are very good things to have, and I've finally unlocked myself another governor. Now, governors are an interesting thing. Victor specializes in generating troops and then also keeping loyalty if you go to war, which is very important. Pingala, however, specializes a high population city and generates a lot of culture and science from it. So Pingala is what I'm going to go for to start with in Paris. Pingala also has access to grants, 100% extra great people points. Very handy indeed. Let's go for political philosophy. We're working on the government plaza. Military training boosted because I now have an encampment. Lovely. The first general is actually just bought out, flat bought by the Congo. Blimey, it's difficult that. We don't want Congo to get too many great generals because it'll make them difficult to kill. But don't worry, we've got tricks up our own sleeves. 19 science per turn from my 2 campuses is doing very nicely for me. We've unlocked battering rams. Now, battering rams will help warriors, spearmen, any melee or anti-cav unit defeat walls. So we really needed that. But now we've got an option. We can either go for catapults, which are very good at attacking cities, or we can work on the swordsman upgrade and then the man-at-arms upgrade for our melee units. I'm tempted to do that right now because I've got lots of warriors skulking in Ngazagamu. They can get promoted on the border and go from there. Yeah, all of the early game great generals. This is the best one, actually, this great general, because she reduces Empire's war weariness by 25%. That's a very long-term benefit for you. Converting barbs is okay. A free book, that's fine. A promotion, meh. But 25%, that's pretty good. I want her. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go encampment training, do a couple of these projects, generate some general points, and see if I can leap ahead of Congo to steal that great general. It's might prove tricky, but it is possible to do. Oh, population lost. Yeah, this is the problem about living on a floodplain. These sort of things happen all the time. I think Paris just lost the population. It's okay. We can survive such things, but it is just a bit of a pain. Kabul has bowed to me, a second military city-state, and that's actually a really good one to hang on to. I've already got the era score from having Preslav on side, so Kabul I'm going to keep. And the reason for that is that double experience from battles means that my units level up a lot faster. That is very handy. But it's important now just to have a little bit of a reflection as to what my aims are. Obviously, this war with Ngazagamu, or protecting it, forced my hand a little bit early. It wasn't necessarily what I intended to do at first, but it set me up in an interesting way because now I have a large army right outside of Congo. Warriors and archers archers, however, are not going to deal with a possible crossbow and swordsman defense, which you've always got to expect the AI is going to have at some point. Additionally, walls in the cities make this quite difficult. So what do? We have an attack plan. We have to think about what is going to be the best set of attacks to go through here. Horses and horsemen, 36 strength. I have them unlocked, very good at pillaging, but they're not very good at taking down cities. They can kill units, they can pillage tiles, but cities, not so much. Swordsmen, and more importantly, a little bit down the line, man-at-arms. Now these things combined with battering rams, which I've already unlocked in masonry, that could be a very good technique, especially if I can get myself a great general with some projects. She can actually improve both swordsmen and man-at-arms because it's classical and medieval. Conveniently, the two eras that those units are in. So my aim is to rush apprenticeship as fast as possible and get that going as quick as I can. How best to do that? Well, I'm unlocking ironworking. That lets me get the swordsman upgrade, and then it's all about unlocking apprenticeship. That involves getting currency and then apprenticeship itself. We need these boosts. This will almost half the time that it takes me to get these techs. Build an iron mine? Well, that is something that actually I should do in 2 turns time. So what we're going to do is we're just going to work ironworking and switch over to currency so we don't lose that. Currency itself is to make a trade route. Now that is something I very much want to do. The reason for that is not only do you use gold to buy the trader, it then produces gold for you, but what I'm going to do is build a road between Paris and the Congo. If I can get to this city of Kabasa, all the better, but alas, it looks like it's slightly too far, so we're going to go just to this city. But that means that I can cross all of these rivers and travel over the rainforest without having to slow down. That is really handy for any reinforcements I'm planning on sending that way. Oh, that looks like Galapagos. Very interesting. After that point, I need 3 mines. That's pretty easy. I actually have this stolen builder going to improve that strategic iron resource. We've got this one going as well. I don't have any other mines, so we're going to need 1 more builder, produce 1 more mine. There's a hill over in my capital that keeps trying to be worked. That could be a good improvement. We'll work it out, but that will help a lot as well. You can also see that Nantes needs a library. That would really help if we could get that, and Pingala could get the connoisseur promotion, or sorry, the research promotion for science. Connoisseur is culture. So there's lots of different competing things that we could be getting right now, but the important thing is that we now have a plan. I don't mind selling horses to Nubia, by the way. I'm not planning on being at war with Nubia for some time. And I don't want to let myself get to the 50 horse cap. There's no point in it. Any strategics you make after 50 horses, well, they just get wasted. I could sell horses to Congo. I don't really want them running around with horsemen though, so I don't know if it's worth it, but there you go. Here is the option. I could send it to Hare. That would give me a little bit more production and science, but it's actually the road I'm after at the moment rather than the actual yields of the trade route itself. As you can see, ironworking is now pretty much ready to go, so I'm going to just switch to currency just to stop myself from losing any of the overflow science. So my first encampment training project has been rushed through, and you can see it gave me about 17 or 18 great general points. That's very handy. I'm going to need a few of them if I want to pick up this great general, but it's worth it. That combat strength bonus is a huge improvement. There is the boost for wheel and ironworking, double one. The wheel just wanted mining a resource. Ironworking was more specifically the mine, but that helps a lot, and we are boosting through to apprenticeship now. Mathematics has been boosted because I've now got 3 different districts, which is wonderful because my government plaza is finished. That gives me a governor title, and I'm going to go connoisseur first. Now, normally I go for connoisseur first, not because I mean the researcher would be very useful, but culture, not only is that my weakness at the moment, you can see I've just gone from 5 to 10, but that puts me along the culture tree, the civic tree, which unlocks things like military tradition, a government quicker, recorded history. There's a lot of stuff I want to unlock very fast. I'm also making use of my government here whilst I can. Agogi is producing me units faster, so I'm just taking the time to be building more archers. Feels weird to not get the infrastructure, but trust me, it is worth just producing all of the troops you can in the moments of peace. Therefore, just helps you to get a lot more army going later on. My science isn't bad. I don't need to charge through the science tree. I don't need to rush education or aqueducts or castles or anything like that just yet. My science is looking pretty good. Really just the main thing I need to do is get myself iron as fast as possible. That is a second source, which means I'm getting 4 per turn. Each swordsman requires 20, so I can upgrade 1 every 5 turns now. It's okay. Could use that being a little quicker, to be honest, but it's okay. There is another source of iron to my north. That's kind of the only one that I would have easy access to at the moment. Never mind. I'm now at the point as well that I can start selling diplomatic favor, which I'm going to do. If you're not going for a diplomatic victory, you might as well start selling this whilst you can. Now, I only sold some of it there because Amanatory has actually run out of gold. We'll keep an eye on that one. The diplomatic favor I won from this liberation of Ngazagame, well, that's going to fund my economy, but also all the upgrades to my troops. That'll be very nice indeed. This scout has been hanging by Taruga and this encampment as well, because very luckily for me, Taruga have been destroying the outpost, but very slowly. That means that I can now get that and get a whole bunch of era score. I found Galapagos, which is worth 1, and then I got 2 from the actual Barb camp kill. Currency is done. Now we are on to apprenticeship. I have a bit of spare gold. I will pick up the library quickly. It's already worth 3 science per turn. Just helps. That puts me towards apprenticeship a lot quicker. I'm doing okay on tech at the moment. We are staying in touch with a lot of the AI. And here is political philosophy, and we can now give ourselves a government. Bit of a choice here for you. Classical Republic means that we would get housing and amenities in all of my cities, as well as some more points towards great people. Now that would help to keep everything happy. It would help my cities to grow. It's kind of really the economic card. If my capital was going to build wonders, the other option for me would be autocracy. One of every yield in my capital. That's pretty good. And 10% production towards wonders. I, however, want oligarchy. 4 extra combat strength on melee units means that my swordsmen will be even more powerful, and unit experience is a very valuable thing indeed. So we want to keep that whilst we can. Agogi, fantastic. That's very useful to produce my units faster. It's worth checking here at the moment. Are there any city-states? But I could, in theory, put an envoy in too soon. Yes, Taruga would be one of them. So I'm going to pop in Diplomatic League very quickly. We've got urban planning. Agogi works well. I think otherwise I'm going to take conscription just for 6 extra gold per turn. And then we're going to drop into military tradition quickly. It's always worth getting this before your first war. We kind of had to miss out on it, but this grants flanking and support bonuses to combat units. That is a big deal. It's one of the reasons we found the first war so tricky, and I'm kind of reluctant to make that the same mistake again. Oh look, here's a good sign. I just saw Congo starting to build Machu Picchu. That means they've switched very much to an economic sense of mind. They're not building many more units. They haven't really improved their military strength since our war. This could be quite useful for us, actually. I've just had one more project being finished in my capital. Alas, it looks like this great general is going to get stolen. Congo have gone up to 5 points per turn. They have Oracle, they have Pingala, and they have an encampment. That's a good combination there that's likely to get a lot of great general points. But we can next turn pick up Strategos, which gives us 2 points per turn. And we might be able to save up enough gold to insta-buy her. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And as you can see, look, this road is being very nicely put over the forests and rainforests now. That helps us to get our armies to the front line. So Diplomatic League, it was a good idea, but Strategos immediately popped that in for 2 more general points per turn. Helps me to get a general up nice and quickly. I don't really want to go to war without one. I've also got 20 iron now. Very handy. Let's get Mysticism. Might be able to pick up Preslav before this war kicks off. Mysticism. I think I'm going to just save this envoy for now. Putting a second in Preslav? Preslav. It's not going to do me anything. And Taruga, I'd like to put the card in. It gives me 2 envoys on the first one. You can see, oh yeah, we're getting more general points now. We might need a little bit of gold to buy her out, but if I can pick her up as a great general, well, here's the thing. Is it actually worth it? Yes, she is the best great general in the long run, but for this gold cost, I probably would take another great general. With the same gold, I could save up and get myself a battering ram, which I am going to need, and then save up to get my promotions quicker. It's a little bit of a choice here. I always go recorded history if I've got some campuses down. 100% campus district adjacency bonus? Well, that would be already worth another 10 science per turn. So yeah, I quite like the sound of that. That's pretty good. We've already hit the point now, actually, where the trader has crossed the river, which is lovely. There's an opportunity for us to do lots of attacking into that catapult, which is quite good. And look, there's a great scientist. Celestial navigation, mathematics, and engineering boosts. And if I've already got the boost, I get the tech for 3. So I would get the mathematics tech for 3. It's quite nice. Doesn't really help, but engineering and celestial navigation. You know what? I will take great scientist. It helps me because it gives me the education boost later. Oh, that's an unfortunate scout. You need to get out of there quickly. And bam. Mathematics, celestial navigation, and engineering boosted. So fun little set of circumstances. The Congo doesn't have much in the way of a military, and it's very scattered and hidden between all of my units right now. I actually think I might take advantage of this and go to attack them next turn. I don't know. We'll see how this plays out, but there's the battering ram. Just need to escort it to the front line, and I'll have myself a general. I decided not to go for the original general I was going to go for. What I will do is start to crowd the enemy. If I can cause a little bit of threat towards that settler, there's a very good chance that Nubia will back it off, which is quite good. So we're just going to move my units around and be a general pain. Normally the AI will tell you off for standing troops by their borders. That doesn't really matter though. Oh, and yeah, a golden opportunity for us here because the settler is now exposed and we've got a good attack on a couple of units here. So we're going to go encampment training, get myself the ancient walls up in my capital nice and quick. We didn't get the builder to do the mines. That is a bit of a problem. Working on the builders, but my tech actually ended up speeding up way beyond the point that I needed it to. One thing I noticed, it was always worth having a look here, I would have to declare a surprise war. However, Nubia is the one that has denounced Congo. I can actually get a joint formal war if I go for a joint war with Nubia, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Less grievances, which is a lovely thing. Now, first thing I need to do is nip this settler in the bud. I do not want the Congo to have another city, because it's one more city for me to capture. It's one more place to hide all their units. So as you can see, I've got myself into a lovely position. I can take the settler, and I could even go and put myself a little forward base up, which is amazing. There's cotton, there's coca, some really good spots around here. That's a very good place to reinforce my troops. I can also start using my archers to pelt their archers behind enemy lines. It's going to stop them from doing anything bad. They also have an encampment they're trying to build. Oh no, it's a theatre square. I thought it might be an encampment. Normally, if it is an encampment and it's not finished, you can move a unit onto it, and there's nothing they can do. They can't build it. The archers are going to start doing some damage to this city. We're just moving the rest of my units forward. And I will bring my scout forward for visibility, but also they're likely to attack the scout rather than my actual proper units because the scout is a lot weaker. That serves me nicely. This warrior is in the middle of nowhere. We don't mind about that one. So I'm actually going to attack this warrior first and hope that Kabul finishes it off. There's nowhere for this one to go. Okay, yep, they are firing back and Gazagamu is my friend still. But this is exactly the sort of fight we wanted. The enemy is scattered and divided. I've got a great general. It's Hannibal in the end. That's fine. We don't mind that. A free promotion later is nothing to be shamed or worried about. And look at this. I've just got all of these units trapped as well. Did you see that? 8 experience and 7 experience. Because I have Kabul, I'm getting double experience from battles right now. And that makes a huge difference. I actually now have an opportunity to set up a new trade route with a new action / sort of opportunity to attack the city of Hare. So I'm going to set them up. Trade routes you should consider to be sort of little advanced scouts to lay the infrastructure for your future attacks. It's the best way of describing it and the best way to look at it. This scout is being attacked. That's good. I'm just going to fortify. Any ranged attacks will be sort of sent towards there. It's looking lovely. I've got the opportunity to just finish off a couple of these enemy units, which is lovely stuff. In fact, if I can kill the catapult, that's going to be a priority for me right now. Catapults can be an absolute pain when they level up. Oh, that was an unlucky damage roll, that. Never mind, we'll finish it off. I might lose that archer, but being honest with you, it's not a problem. You'll notice that my combats are going quite well at the moment, and that's because I have +3 intel on opponents' movements. That's because I have +1 diplomatic visibility on everyone. The oligarchy is also giving me +4, so warriors are attacking with 27. And then we have a look at flanking. You'll notice when I attack with this warrior into the warrior above it, I get flanking of +2. All you've got to do is draw a little hex around the target. For every allied troop around it, you get +2. So if I had 5 units surrounding this tile and then I attacked with a 6th, I'd get a flanking bonus of up to +10. It makes a huge difference. Now there are some things you can't flank, like cities, districts, that sort of stuff, but you should always take flanking bonuses wherever you can. So this is actually working quite well at the moment. This city I'm just attacking with archers because there's nothing stopping me, and all of the Congo's army that they levied from Bologna Well, it's very much been caught between two separate things, and my warrior can just punch through. It's escorting the battering ram. The Great General is now pretty much in as well, which is lovely. And this warrior, I'm just going to go, it's got battle cry. It's a really good candidate. I'm going to go stand it in Ngazagamu's territory, and I'll be able to upgrade it to a swordsman next turn. In fact, I might have the gold to convert to. We'll see how that goes. A warrior is trying to come and defend the city centre. If I let that warrior move in, the city centre will gain defensive strength, which is bad. But if I then kill the city, the warrior gets disintegrated immediately. That's good. I'm actually going to hold my defensive position here and ask the Congolese defense to attack me. I think that's better. I'm holding a defensive line behind a river. That means I've got +5 combat strength on defense, which is a lovely thing. I'm just taking my time here as well. There's nothing I have to rush. In fact, actually, this warrior can't really get anywhere. I'm taking the time just to upgrade my troops in the north as well and see how Congo retaliates. Yep, they've moved their warrior into the city. That gives it a little bit of defensive strength, but it's not too much of a problem. Nothing we can't handle easily. And as mentioned before, 20 iron and 110 gold makes a swordsman. Now, the Great General only improves classical and medieval era land units. The warriors and the archers are all ancient era, so they don't get benefited, but the swordsman does. Swordsman has now got 3 movement rather than 2 because it's in range of the Great General, and I now have +5 combat strength. That means the swordsman's attacking very hard indeed. So whilst I just move away from apprenticeship quickly, and I'm going to go towards castles, which involves getting a watermill, which is wheel, so we're going to go wheel, construction, castles, like that. I'm just going to take a couple of turns just reinforcing my units, letting them upgrade. You can see this archer already has got to level 2. That is Arrow Storm. Means it's attacking with about 42 strength now, which is awesome. In fact, as a level 2 archer, I've got to promote it. Oh, I say level 2. It's got 2 promotions. It's technically level 3, but these things have to be named. The feared archer, Myxomatosis. Oh, you can barely see it coming. And finally, a very special shout out goes to Glorious Petra, Matthew Wilkinson, Paul Coffey, Portland, Scott Stratton, Major King Kong, Davalex, Skeptical Bear, Krogerbrand Trail Mix, Alex Noob, Cinnamon Beard, Petra Ryan, Matthew Hatch, Rom88, Radiatore, Private Selection, Genoa Salami, Boyzoro, Callum Billy, Garrett Gowan, Polar Beret, El Truant, Creston, RB Hedged, Mushkin Mandletort, Esri Dax, Deeble Time, Shoelace, Burial, I'm Daft, Gooberman, Clint Hennis, Dr. Bobby, Polar Wallabear, Myxomatosis, NTG Golfman. Thank you everyone for your support. See you all in the next video. Goodbye!